Hey everyone, Dana here, and today I am filming with Hannah from Klein Aber Hannah. I'm so excited to be filming with you. We just filmed a video for her channel, which of course I will link down in the description box below. Oh, and that was in German, and this is in English.
Yes, I'm a little excited. Yes, I hope I'm ready. I mean, you can edit it, so it's gonna be fine.
You'll be marvelous.
Okay.
The thing that I'd like to start with is that in both Germany and the US, a lot of American movies are watched.
Yes.
But my hypothesis or my theory is that I feel like maybe people watching these movies in the US, it feels perhaps a little bit more real because the scenes actually look like real life. Like when I watch a movie that is set in an American high school, it looks like my American high school looked.
Yeah.
I can imagine that these films affect anyone who watches them, Germans, Americans, or people from anywhere.
Yeah.
But maybe it seeps in a little bit more if you're watching a movie from the country you're from, where it looks like your everyday life. Did you grow up watching American movies?
Yes.
And what do you think, what is that like as a German watching American movies? Because maybe Germans can be like, oh, those ridiculous Americans, it's not real.
Exactly, that was exactly what I was thinking. I watched a lot of high school movies growing up, and I always thought it's just overdone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really, really overdone, and it has nothing to do with reality. But in my video, we talked about how close it is to reality, which shocked me a little bit, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so you weren't even watching the movies thinking, oh, those ridiculous Americans. You were watching thinking, oh, that's just Hollywood.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff, of course, is Hollywood, but it's hard to know, do these things come into society because they're in movies, or do they come into movies because they're in society, you know? Or do they play off each other?
I think in this case, I can imagine that it came from society, and they just, like, movies are always an Abbild, mirror of the society, of course, but it is
They're playing off of each other.
Yes, exactly. It is. It's both.
So I'm not sure if you've seen these movies, but for example, did you watch the movie She's All That?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Eine wie keine.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
remember.
Eine
of
wie
course.
keine.
I've watched it not only once, not only twice, not only three. Okay, I watched it a lot.
So in this movie, I feel like you have that thing that I think a lot of 90s movies had, where there was some sort of a bet going on. You know, the guy took a bet that he could make the most uncool girl in school fall in love with him by a certain point of time. So he completely lied to her and convinced her to go with him under false pretenses. And in the end, of course, after the makeover,
yes.
of course, you know.
That's
another.
We need to talk about.
We need to talk about that. Yeah. And then he falls in love with her, and then in the end they get together because he says, well, I at first was tricking you, but then I really fell in love with you. In She's All That, he doesn't even apologize.
He doesn't?
No, at the end he does not say, I'm sorry.
She's angry with him. I
She's
remember that.
She's angry, and he comes and he says, but I love you, and I've changed, and I've learned so much. And then she kisses him. There's no I'm sorry, that was wrong.
Well, I mean, yeah, he has changed.
He has changed.
I'm wondering, does this happen a lot? Like guys betting on stuff in the States?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't
like betting on girls, or girls doing something, or doing something with girls. Or,
I hope
because
not.
in movies it happens a lot.
It happens so much in movies.
I've never done it.
I have never done it, and I have never heard of it happening.
No, me neither.
So I don't think it's a thing.
In all of those movies, the guy is an asshole in the beginning, and it's like this female dream that bad guys that are going to change because you can change. Like, I'm going to change him, you know? Nobody can, but I'm going to change him. The makeover part.
The makeover part, yes. In so many movies, there's this makeover, and I really think I internalized from this that it's very important for me to do my makeup, and like that the most important thing that I can put out to society is trying to be pretty. Yes. That anything, like, you know, at the beginning of the movie, she had passions. At the end of the movie, she also had passions. But at the beginning of the movie, that didn't matter. It didn't matter that she had hobbies and passions and things that she liked. Yeah. Those things didn't matter. Yeah. The only thing that mattered about her was once she became pretty.
Exactly, that's the real 90s thing, like this moment the girl comes downstairs, like looking like a little shy, but also like really pretty. Like a little shy. She doesn't know that she's really pretty.
Right. This
like,
annoying thing that she doesn't know she's pretty.
Exactly. Then she looks really pretty. And the you see the guy looking at her like, oh my God, I just realized she's a woman. Oh my God, and she's pretty. Right. Oh my God. It's like always the same. It gives you a feeling that guys are not even gonna recognize you if you don't look like that.
Right.
If you don't put on makeup, if you don't put on a nice dress.
Absolutely. I definitely internalized that any hobbies that I have, any interests, like good grades in school or anything, that's not what society or what guys care about. But also kind of society, because in those movies, sometimes you also have girls who don't care about the uncool, girl, even though she has all sorts of hobbies.
I didn't believe that nothing else matters but my
your
visuals,
looks,
my looks. But it definitely had an effect on me unconsciously. That I wasn't aware of.
That's unconscious, or subconscious. Yeah,
subconsciously.
I think. It wasn't necessarily like I was always consciously thinking.
Exactly, but you were thinking more about your looks, maybe because you've seen it in all the movies.
Yeah,
I have to say that in most high school movies, guys are also really stupid. They're really stupid,
and that's not good.
No,
absolutely not good.
So it's just like they're hot but stupid.
Yeah, that's selling everyone short. That's selling the girls short. That's selling the boys short. Another movie trope that I'd like to throw in is the surprise kiss. The surprise kiss needs to go away. Like this is not okay.
So, for example, if I would go like this
and just kiss, and just kiss.
Kiss her. Exactly. Right now, like our heads would bump together.
Bam. In the movies, these surprise kisses happen all the time.
Yeah. There's one thing that I wrote you that really, really, really annoys me. I've seen it in one movie recently. Do you know Wedding Date? Do you know?
No, I don't know that one.
So she hires him as a date for her sister's wedding. And then he falls in love with her, blah, blah, blah. And in the end, something happens that happens a lot in movies. He goes to her father and asks him for her hand. And, I think this is I think this is so stupid. I don't know if you actually do it in America. I don't know, because in Germany, we don't do it. And
people do it.
I think that really sucks, because when you're a grown-up, you can decide by yourself. Yeah. For me, that feels like as if you need the permission of your father to do something. I don't think it's romantic. I think it's really...
I hear you.
I never realized that. It's the same thing, though, for me in a wedding. In movies, and I think that's an American thing, actually, the father always takes the bride to the groom.
Yeah.
I never realized that that's a patriarchy thing, actually, but it is completely.
Absolutely.
And I really started realizing it when I had my wedding this year, and I was talking to people, to friends, for example, that are very religious, and they said, no, in religion, it's in our religion, like they're Catholic. They said, no, it's traditional for the bride and the groom to go together to the altar, for example. Yeah. And they said that the father-bride thing is an American thing. That's totally American. And for me, that was also really interesting. Yeah. And then I said, okay, I'm not going to do the father-bride thing. I don't want to do the bridegroom thing, so I went there with my sister.
Yeah, no, in the U.S. it's really common. I had that at my wedding. My dad walked me. But for me, it was like something I had just always seen and I always imagined.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he seems so emotional. Yeah. It's not that I have anything against it.
I know, yeah.
So it's just, but it's just, I'm so used to seeing it in movies and stuff, so that I didn't hinterfragt. Ich habe es nicht hinterfragt.
Yeah, you didn't even ask, you didn't even think about it again. No. That's the same with me. Years later, after the fact, I did start thinking about it and being like, that is kind of a weird tradition, isn't it? The handing over. Yeah. And also, speaking of weddings, I hate this thing in movies where it happens in so many movies. I wrote down a couple of them, but where there's a wedding, the woman is getting married, she's at the altar, she's about to say I do, and the man rushes in and says, wait, stop, no, you're supposed to marry me. You're making a big decision, a bad decision. You're making the wrong decision. Yeah. I hate that movie trope because it's like, I think she can make the right decision, And
So
there's so
when
many
would
movies.
that ever happen?
Right.
Like, did this ever happen in real life? Maybe once, but not as often as it does in movies. Like that, you actually decide to not get married while you standing there at the altar.
Yeah, and because some other guy runs in and is like, stop.
It happens in a lot of movies.
Yeah,
absolutely.
like Wedding Crashers. It happened in Wedding Crashers. It happened in Shrek.
Many movies. Yeah.
In Shrek, Shrek shows
movie.
up at the end.
Yeah. It did something like romantic, like the romantic gesture we know from movies. It's the same with like the guy running to the airport to get the girl.
The romantic gesture.
The airport, the altar.
With this romantic gesture thing, another trope that I really hate from movies is this like stalking thing.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that too.
I wrote down just a few movies that you have this in, like What Women Want.
Yeah.
You've Got Mail. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
There's Something About Mary. Love Actually.
The Notebook.
The Notebook. Twilight.
Twilight. Oh yeah.
Twilight is basically just the stalking thing. It's this idea that a guy goes and, for example, maybe asks a woman out.
Yeah.
Would you like to go out with me? And she says no. And then
no doesn't mean no in
he
movies, right?
keeps
So
coming back and asking again and again and again. And in movies, so often this persistence is
seen as like charming and romantic.
And it's then what is belohnt? It is belohnt. It is him doing this in movies is so often rewarded.
Absolutely. I mean, for example, in The Notebook, he goes to her and he's like, "You want to go on a date with me?" And she's with her friends also, and she's like, "No."
Like it's a big
like
no.
A
yeah,
big
it was
no.
a
Like
big no.
No. Like he tries it again. He goes there. He goes back there, and then you know that scene when he hangs on the
Ferris wheel.
And he hangs up there, and he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna kill myself if you don't say yes to going on a date with me." Isn't it romantic, guys?
Oh my gosh, that's awful. That's
so romantic. Yeah, of course,
that's such a horrible thing to have in movies.
It's really horrible because it's really, really like high quality stalker.
Yeah,
like you said before. But no, of course, she finds it weird, but still a little romantic, and then she goes on a date with him, and they fall in love, of course.
No needs to mean no.
Exactly.
I wrote something down. It sends the message that if a girl or a woman says no, it doesn't mean anything.
Not only that it doesn't mean anything, also that it's like it encourages you to try even harder. Yeah. That's also the message that's being sent, I think. Go more into it. Try harder.
And that's
so no. And no means no.
No means no.
Yeah.
And also, I would say it taught me to expect to have to say no over and over and over again, and not to question it when boys or men did this. This is what movies told me to expect.
But did this happen to you? That like a guy was really penetrant? Like
persistent and asking.
Okay, and didn't give up?
No.
Okay.
With the movie American Pie. Did you watch this movie?
Yes, of course. Which one?
Well, I guess I'm starting with the first one.
Okay,
yeah. The whole premise of the movie, the whole point was for some guys to try to sleep with a woman. Yeah. Like that was the whole point of the movie. At the time when I watched it, I just took it all in and I wasn't analyzing the movie. Yes. But looking back on it now, I can see that was the whole premise of the movie. And it wasn't like the women were it was just about trying to get them to have sex with the guys. It was just about putting the penis in the vagina. Like they weren't treated as people.
Yeah.
From that movie, I think I internalized that I should expect that guys are always going to be trying to sleep with me. If they're nice to me, if they're loving to me, no matter what, they're just trying to get me to bed. That's what I should expect from guys.
That's really interesting because that's not what I got from the movie.
Oh, okay.
But what I got from that movie and from many other high school teeny movies, rom-coms, is that you need to lose your virginity fast because otherwise you're not cool. Mm-hmm. That's what I got from American Pie.
For the men and the women?
Yes, also as a woman. Because often in movies they say stuff like, "Oh, you're still a virgin, you're so uncool." You know, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And that definitely had an effect on me. Not, like you said, not consciously.
Right.
Yeah? So it was like, of course, it's uncool to to still have not lost your virginity, you know, like as if it was just a fact.
Yeah.
After, like later on, I realized that that's bullshit, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And it's always that, like, it's always that thing with, for guys, it's good. Like, it's, do you know that question, like, what's your number? So for guys, it's good to have a big number, like, of people they've slept with. And for girls, for women, it's like, the number has to be really small.
So that's also, you would say, in Germany or Austria, because that's definitely how I feel like in the US.
No, I don't have, I really never experienced it in real life. But I've seen it in so many movies that I have the feeling that it is a thing. But I've never experienced it myself. So you have.
And in the US, that's the feeling that I got. That if guys lost their virginity, it was like, high five, yeah,
exactly.
You're a man now.
you're a man
you
now.
lost your virginity. But let's say even, I know I've seen it in movies as well, where there's a guy and he has a girlfriend and they spend the night together, and then the next day the guy's hanging out with his guy friends and they're like, and did you do anything? And he says, yeah, we went all the way. And then they make fun of the girl for being a slut. Like, she did what he wanted her to do, which was have sex, and then she gets made fun of for being a slut. Like, I know I've seen that in movies. Also, there's the scene in the movie where, what's the main character? Jim. He films Nadia naked without her permission. She doesn't know she's being filmed. The live stream gets sent to the whole school and she doesn't know. And in the end, Jim doesn't get in trouble. Nothing happens to Jim, and Nadia gets sent back to the Czech Republic. She gets punished.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get punished.
Like, my hypothesis is that those kind of movies would never work nowadays because, you know, because so much has changed.
I hope they wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah.
So, I mean, we can watch them now and say, okay, we were pretty stupid back then.
Yeah.
We thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But
for me, as a young girl watching that, I definitely took in those things and was like, yeah. So our question for you is, what movie tropes do you wish would never happen in movies anymore? And what movies have you seen where you thought like, this movie puts across some pretty bad messages? Please let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and a really, really big thank you to you, Hannah, for joining me in this video. Yeah, I will link to the video that we did with Hannah over there. And don't forget that this video is a part of a larger series, so I will put that playlist over there as well. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen.